I want to begin this morning with the airstrikes that the Biden administration conducted in Syria. There is a clip from Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin that I want us to consider before we begin this conversation, but there is a consistency. There is a consistency in American foreign policy, and that consistency transcends every administration. No matter which administration is your favorite, which one you hate the most, there is always a consistent trend in every single administration, and that is one of war. That is one of dropping bombs across the Middle East and in the global South. But before we get into that, let's take a listen in to Lloyd Austin as he explains why they conducted these strikes.
We're very deliberate about our approach, as you would expect us to be. We allowed and encouraged the Iraqis to investigate and develop intelligence, and that was very helpful to us in refining the target. And let me just finally say that I'm really proud of the men and women in our force who carried out the strike. As you would expect, they performed in a very professional manner, and we're grateful for their service.
Can you say why this was important to do, Mr. Secretary, and was this your recommendation?
It was my recommendation. As we said a number of times, we will respond on our timeline. And once again, we want to be sure that of the connectivity and want to be sure that we had the right targets.
When did the president authorize the strikes? When did the president authorize the strikes? Were you on the phone with him?
It was today, yes.
It was today. Was it this morning that you were late?
Yes, it was this morning.
When were you
That's all I'm going to say, guys.
That's good. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Now, I want you to keep in mind that these strikes, the justification for these strikes includes the missile strikes against U.S. contractors, civilian contractors in the region, in Syria. This is not, however, the first time that a sitting president struck Syria so quickly and so early in their administration. You will remember in 2017, Donald Trump conducted airstrikes against Syria. His justification at the time was because of the chemical attack conducted by Bashar al-Assad during the Syrian civil war, which is continuing to happen as we speak, the Syrian civil war. I want to play, though, a clip from 2017. This is not a clip from Donald Trump. This is a clip from Brian Williams of CNN, of MSNBC, rather. And I want you to listen to the language and the energy and the propaganda as it pertains to the United States military industrial complex that comes not only from Fox News, but even your favorite MSNBC. Take a listen to Brian Williams as he justifies the 2017, or he stands in awe of the 2017 strike against Syria.
Go into greater detail. We see these beautiful pictures at night from the decks of these two U.S. Navy vessels in the Eastern Mediterranean. I am tempted to quote the great Leonard Cohen, "I'm guided by the beauty of our weapons." And they are beautiful pictures of fearsome armaments making what is for them a brief flight over to this airfield. What did they hit?
Okay, I want to tread carefully here just for a few minutes, and then afterwards, I'm not going to care. If it was wrong underneath the Trump administration, it's wrong underneath the Biden administration. Two different conversations that we're going to have simultaneously here. How media is complicit with it, and the media doesn't care who's doing the bombing. The media doesn't care who's conducting the strikes. The media is complicit with it because if you look at their advertisers for MSNBC, some of their advertisers include defense contractors, defense organizations, defense outfits that get billions of dollars every single year. So the media is going to be just fine and stand in awe of the beauty of our weapons, which is the most sociopathic thing I think I've ever heard. And it's been 2020. We've gone through 2020, but I digress. I want to also point to the hypocrisy of political leaders, because at the time, Donald Trump was lambasted, rightfully so, for that attack. In fact, the press secretary, the current sitting press secretary for the United States of America, for Joe Biden, Jen Psaki, she even called out Donald Trump at the time. I want to bring her tweet up on the screen. She said, I'm struggling with this because the hypocrisy is the thing for me. It's the hypocrisy. This is what she said. Also, what is the legal authority for the strikes? This is 2017. Assad is a brutal dictator. Yes, he is. But Syria is a sovereign country. Yes, they are. And so if Jen Psaki, the sitting press secretary for Joe Biden, thought in 2017 when Donald Trump conducted airstrikes for the purposes of retaliating against Bashar al-Assad because he conducted chemical strikes against his people, I'm sorry, that's a far greater justification than what we conducted this strike for this last night. Because last night, we're conducting it in retaliation for strikes against contractors. Contractors who are paid top dollar to go over there and conduct military exercises, conduct military events, to do things on behalf of the United States military. They're called contractors, but they are working on behalf of our Defense Department. Finally got it out. We conducted military strikes last night in retaliation for the Iranian-backed militias who retaliated against us. The real question is, why the hell is America still in these regions? You want to know why? Because defense contractors got to get paid, y'all. Defense contractors have to drop these bombs somewhere. If it was bad underneath Trump, it most certainly has to be bad now. And if we can't carry that moral consistency across political lines, then what good are we as human beings? What good are we as human beings if we can criticize Jen Psaki, if we can criticize Donald Trump? I really wonder if, matter of fact, I almost would guarantee you that they're not going to pull her out today. They're going to have the deputy press secretary out there today, because Jen Psaki is going to have to justify why it was wrong underneath Donald Trump, but it's okay underneath the Biden administration. There is a consistency that goes and transcends across every single administration. And the only thing that is consistent in this country, it's not whether or not we're going to take care of the people. No. It's not whether or not we're going to bail out the American people. No. It's not whether or not we're even going to do what's in the best interest of the people of this country. No. It is the consistency in our foreign policy and our desire as a nation to use the overwhelming majority of our tax dollars to drop bombs across the globe. If you can't see it and you can't bring yourself to hold each administration accountable for what they have done across the globe, then you're complicit with this. And forgive the accusatory tone this morning, but as we go through the rest of the stories this morning, you're going to see very clearly that we got plenty of money for bombs. We have plenty of dollars for war, but we can't feed the poor. James, take us to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to reset. We'll discuss this a little bit more, but then I also want us to discuss the fact that on the same night that we decided to drop bombs, they decided not to give working people $15 an hour, minimum living wage. Man, we spending, every bomb we drop over there is like $50,000, sometimes even worse than that. It is so much money in the military industrial complex. And honestly, I think these presidents across the board are scared. I think they're afraid to stand up to the military industrial complex. You got to think about it. Like we spend hundreds of billions of dollars every single year, and we increase that budget every single year. So you got to think about these defense contractor organizations, like these companies, right? These for-profit companies that the Pentagon outsources to, they get billions quarterly. I mean, the most obscene profits they get. And can you imagine, there's a mouse on my head, by the way. Can you imagine a president coming in and messing with that money? I honestly think at a certain extent, that these presidents are afraid to tell these people no, to tell the defense contractors, to tell the Department of Defense, to tell these industries, absolutely not. We're not going to drop these bombs. But anyway, welcome back. Good morning, James, Rebecca. How y'all doing? I got a whole lot more to talk about. But yeah, I want to pull up a tweet or two.
Ask us a question and go straight to the tweets. Yeah, how y'all doing?
Well,
okay,
how y'all doing? So this tweet is...
You was ready to answer, right? You were ready to answer, right, Bubba?
Listen,
like,
right. You saw
it's a flow.
Button on and everything. Like,
that's not a flow.
If
you know me and Bubba be
in.
ready to answer. And you was just like, how y'all doing anyways?
Anyway. We got a delay over here.
You got to get in there. When I get... So I'm going to try it again. How y'all doing this morning?
We're doing good. Are we doing that?
That's too loud.
Is it too much? Look, are we having a conversation? Or we're just like, hey, we're good. Go ahead.
No, just
okay.
Good. Let's try it again. You're good. Okay. Well, we'll be even better after we look at these tweets. Take a look at this tweet from Amy Siskind. She said, "It's so different having military action underneath Biden. No middle school level threats on Twitter. Trust Biden and his team's competence." And
that's how she sounds.
And then somebody else said, "I like it. When you swat a mosquito, you don't call a press conference to talk about it. You just do what needs to be done and move on." Let me go right to this next one. There's the next one from some brand. I don't know who this is, but this is just the mindset. Such a quiet attack. No drama, no TV coverage of bombs hitting targets, no comments on how presidential Biden is. What a difference. This is
oh my God. Here's the thing.
This is crazy.
These people are literally living in... You know how like on WandaVision, did y'all play the song without me? But do you know how like on WandaVision, they start off the show in black and white? They're just living in this alternate universe, right? That's how I feel like these Biden supporters. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that Biden can't get right, but what he's showing us right now, the
ain't
fluff.
Right.
Okay, all of that, like, relax, guys. It's okay to hold people accountable. I know it wasn't normal for years and years in the history of the presidents that we've had. But now you guys have voices. Stand in your voice. Practice with me. Biden ain't doing nothing. Practice, say it with me. Biden ain't doing nothing. At least none of the promises that he's already said that he would put in immediately, he hasn't done. And it's okay, guys. It's okay to hold him accountable because that may cause him to change his ways. Like that may cause him probably, maybe, I don't know, but it may cause him to do something different. You guys supporting him and saying, oh my God, this feels like a fresh breath of fresh air. It feels so great. And Biden is president and I love it. Like, what else, sis? Because the people who look like me, the people from, Haiti, because it's just a hand. There's no nail here. But the people from Haiti, my folks are sitting there like, Biden is doing nothing. This is him going into people's playgrounds, people's homes, people's livelihoods, and saying he's going to protect and help and doing not Nan. So everyone who's floating on flowers because they know Biden's policies would protect them, but they don't understand how it hurts other people's, please sit this one out.